I mean, like, you know, I was banned from that promotion. You know, and you know, after 2 years of sobriety, it's just like,
I was
hey,
gonna say you probably should have been, Johnny. Fuck. Yeah, but so hey, no, man, no, but Johnny, and you know, not to go up into the weeds, but like you've changed your life a lot, and like people should know it, by the way, and that's another reason I'm glad you're on here. But yeah, no. It's admirable to give a guy. I'm all for like an ex-con getting, you know, because you're supposed to have fucking paid your debt to society when you're out, and and we should give chances.
He was there. He wanted to bring in his kid. Yes. He was training to be a wrestler. So Julian sees this like, hey, here's a guy who's trying to carry on the Anderson tradition that you know kind of sidesteps Brad. You know, Zan Panzer was probably not what Gene Anderson envisioned for his son to carry on the Anderson legacy.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that. You know,
so anyway, so the kid's yelling for help. You know, a lot of people are yelling at the referee who looks like Danny Bonaduce. They're just like, hey, you know, Red the referee did nothing. There's nothing Red the referee could have done with Brad Anderson choking this kid. Yeah. So like if anyone should hate Red the referee, I should hate him for looking like Bonaduce, and I think he's a pretty okay guy. Okay, so I do not like you know like and plus you know Red's watching. He's just like, wow, like what is going on? Like this sucks. And you know, and for anyone that's just like you know maybe Julian told him to do it because you know how cool it'd be to see someone really beat someone up. It's not exciting to watch someone just beat someone up. There's a reason that people pay to see professional wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. So Johnny, so afterwards, like he finally, like the guy, I hear the splat on the fucking concrete, and then like, then they're broken up.
The kid's still yelling for help. The first one there is Julian Strauss, the promoter. And he's like, "What are you doing? Are you crazy?" Like he is. You see him, and I saw him yelling at Brad Anderson. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
So you know, once again, if this guy wanted him to beat up this kid that he's had on every show, like you know, just the math doesn't add up. Okay. So anyway, so afterwards, Brad goes to the back. All the wrestlers go. You know, well, they storm the ring, then they all go to the back. So they're ready to. Everyone is ready to fight Brad Anderson.
Yeah.
And
are you there? Are you witness to this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to the back to what? Am I going to fucking sit there? I told Matt Kuhn, I'm like, keep talking. I'm going to the back.
Okay, so continue then. I want to hear your firsthand account.
Okay. So I go to the back, and so Brad's outside, and everyone's like, fucking. They're like, dude, you don't do that. Like you know, we put our lives in each other's hands. Like you know, you're fuck you. Like you know, they're screaming
What's he
at
saying?
him. One of the international superstars, the British guy. He's begging Brad Anderson to come fight him. He was just like, come on, I dare you, please.
Yeah. So, Who's that? Who was it?
The British guy from the International Superstars.
What's his name? Do you know?
I don't. Well, there's Blanco, Loco, and the other one.
Oh, okay. All right.
But anyway,
so
what's
Brad?
I want to know what he was begging him, and Brad didn't want to. So Brad goes back in. So basically,
does he say anything?
Does
he say anything?
No, nothing. So the locker, and for the record, like before the show started, this dude is working out like a madman in the back, and he has this faraway look in his eyes. I mean, because like I don't know if you've ever met Brandon, he's a fucking weirdo.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
I can't remember whether I met him or not.
Once again, you know, like American Psycho typically looks like American Psycho.
Okay.
You know? So anyway, so fine, collectively, all the boys are just like, if that dude doesn't leave right now in his gear, we're all leaving.
Yeah.
And Julian grabbed a police officer who was working the event, and and Brad Anderson was removed from the event in his gear. His girlfriend or wife or whatever grabbed his gear, and then he left. Okay, so here is a point of contention by some people, and I don't know what's true or not. So some people say that they saw Julian give Brad money out of his pocket on his way out the door. I don't know if that's true or not. I do know at the end of the night, when Julian's giving out our pay envelopes, he gave Jacob Ryan the envelope that said Jacob Ryan, and he gave Jacob Ryan an envelope that said Brad Anderson. I know he gave him both pays.
Okay.
So, which I think is good. So, but there's some people that are upset. They're just like, well, I asked Julian, I'm just like, did you pay Brad Anderson? And he was like, no, I gave Jacob both the envelopes. I'm like, but did you give him other? He goes, honestly, I don't think I did. I don't think I would have. He goes, but in the heat of the moment, with the cop, because Julian's ready to have a heart attack at this point.
Yeah.
He was like, I could have. And for the record, if it's me, if I'm the promoter, and
here, just take it and get the fuck out.
Of all
What's that?
It's just like, here, just take the money and fucking go.
Yeah,
like,
if it's me, I definitely give him the money because I don't want that motherfucker calling me back. Like, it's just like, hey, here's your money. We're done.
Okay.
Business is over. Do not ever contact me again. I don't want to give him the opening to call me back.
Hey, so Matt Coon was saying, Jacob handled it well, and like he's not going to press charges. Fuck that.
No.
Fuck that.
No. I don't know where Matt Coon got that from. All right, so,
he should press charges.
Jacob did handle it well. He came back in the ring with Julian and said, this sucked, but everyone was have fun, blah blah blah, and he, I know as of today that he was planning on pressing charges, and Julian was there to assist him in any way possible.
Good. Hey, can we? Hey, Steve, can we have we reached out to see if Julian would come on the show and talk about this?
I reached out specifically to Revolution Wrestling's Facebook page in DM, and Julian is assisting and cooperating with Jacob Ryan as this may become a legal matter. At this time, it's best for him to not do podcasts until we know if it might affect Jacob's case.
Okay.
So they're helping.
I talked with Julian earlier today and basically said the same exact thing. He doesn't want to hurt Jacob.
I sent it. Did you hear me when I said I sent a tweet out like, tell him I don't fucking believe a word you said in your Facebook post.
Yeah. Well, once again, White Mike. For the record,
not to be confused with Michael Blackson
on the indies right now that I love more than White Mike. I mean, he is so fucking fun. He's great. I mean, because after his match, he's like, "That's it. I'm done. I'm never fucking working here again. You can come see us somewhere else." Blah blah blah. And I went up to him and I was just like, "Dude, I'm like that tag match with Jim Nasty Boys and the International Superstars was the most fun I've had commentating a match in years." I'm like, "Please," he's like, "I don't know. I'll think about it." So,
so
here's the 2 points of contention that are I think the main points that in which White Mike believes that Julian is lying. When Julian is sitting there saying, "Watch him shoot," I honestly believe in my heart of hearts that Julian is referring to the promo. So once again, am I wrong? Could I
don't know,
yeah,
dude. I wasn't there. I don't know. I believe in giving benefit of the doubt. I know, but If he knew, it's a really fucking piece of shit fucking thing to do, and he should probably exit the wrestling business.
But how would it benefit him in any way? Like it would be negative press. B, it's not fun to look at.
Yeah.
No one.
It was so disturbing.
When it happened, it wasn't like half the crowd was like, "Hey, that was kind of cool." No, everyone was just like, that was like, number one, like, what the fuck happened? Number two, what a shitty person.
And I feel bad for the kid. I feel bad for Brad Anderson's son, Johnny. Like, because holy fuck, like, I mean, yeah.
Is it
How's
common?
that go? How's that?
Is it common
work?
for the referee?
So did you see Frank Mir and Austin Aries have called him out for a match? And they both agreed. They said they would both put up the $40 it takes to book Brad Anderson in 2019.
That's great. You don't really need Frank Mir, honestly. And I'm not saying Brad Anderson's not a tough guy or whatever, but relatively speaking, but that's definitely a piece of shit, chicken shit, fucking thing to do. You could. So here's the thing about all this. Okay, and this goes for anyone. Okay, in the heat of the moment, your son gets hurt, you're fucking pissed, you lose it, and you do something. Okay, still maybe not the right thing to do, but you're in the heat of the moment. This fucking guy had how long to cool down?
A month. He had 30 days. Yeah, that's
fuck out of here.
Like that's a psychopath.
Yeah. So.
What's astonishing too is that nowadays everything ends up on social media. It doesn't matter how big or how small the show is, no matter what you go out there and do, it's gonna end up out there for everyone to see. So I think that everybody has to know that, right? So if you don't and you still move forward with what you want to do, it's almost like if you just you've passed that point of, knowing between right and wrong,
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was just thinking. Oh, sorry. I was just wanting to add to this. Do you guys remember the story about a few months ago, or I don't even remember how long ago, in Mexico, where the guy threw the cylinder block at the other guy, I forgot their names,
for
the stiff chair shots? And it's like, okay, a stiff chair shot, but you're throwing a cylinder block? That could be murder, Yes, exactly. I don't know whatever ended up happening with that story, but that reminds me of it.
Yeah. Fuck.
And another thing, there's wrestlers saying that 40 of the boys knew about this before it happened. I'm just like, well, if that's the case, y'all are some shitty friends.
That's a good point. That's a good point for anyone that's going, oh, the promoter knew, but what about the boys and why didn't they fucking say anything? Okay, I want to know, actually.
My question is
afraid
it
of Brad Anderson?
Is it common for the referee in this situation to not
Brad
to not know what
Anderson
the match
had
would
no
be?
friends in that locker room. So who are these boys that knew?
So did they really know? Did everyone know? Are you sure?
I don't think so. I think I would have heard. I mean, people. I think someone would have come up to me and just like, "Hey, Fairplay, did you hear?" Because wrestlers love to talk. That's why this story has legs right now, because wrestlers love telling the story that the Mike White story sounds like a good story or White Mike. It sounds like a good story to get behind. So they're retelling that, even though it might not be I do believe it's factually true, but I do believe that there's misinterpretation here.